can't tell you how insanely delighted I am to be in this day celebrating my beloved evolutionary partner's, Barbara Marx Hubbard's birthday. It's one of the things that was so special about Barbara, one of the many things. She celebrated the masculine in an era in which, and Barbara and I talked about it often, in which the masculine was being demonized. In part, the masculine was being critiqued and called to a higher evolution, which is important. But there was also, and is also, a fundamental demonization of the masculine in the space. Just like in the black-white conversation all around the world, right? There's this demonization of whiteness, right? Identity politics, in which large groups of people are, as a class, held to be fundamentally flawed. And Barbara said no to that in a huge, gorgeous way. And she held in her witness the celebration of the masculine. And her beautiful husbands, who she would talk about a lot, Sydney and Earl, her first husband, Sydney, her second husband, a great love of her life, Jonah Salk, who was, a deep and important part of her life. And as Barbara and I worked together as evolutionary partners and wholemates, right, this celebration of the masculine. And so, Barbara, I want to bring that theme into this week's One Mountain. Just let's actually have a moment where we celebrate the masculine. And it's so deep and it's so profound. And I want to just add one word so we get this really clear. We always celebrate the feminine and we always celebrate the masculine. But here's the key. We don't need more masculine values. We don't need more masculine values. We don't need more feminine values. It's a huge mistake. My friend Raj Sisodia, who wrote the book Conscious Capitalism with John Mackey, wrote me a draft of one of his new books a few years ago, and it was all about the celebration. We need more feminine values. And I wrote him back, Raj, no, we don't need more feminine values or more masculine values. We need more feminine and masculine values at higher levels of consciousness, right? So if masculine values are, right, and masculine doesn't mean men and women, it means the masculine and feminine, or what we call the line and circle that live in each one of us. We're all masculine and feminine in a larger, unique integration, what we call unique gender. And Claire, right, that's our unique topic together, unique gender, right? We got to move beyond he and she and own the full line and full circle quality, the full masculine and feminine that lives in each of us, for sure. And let's say from that perspective, if we talk about line qualities as this quality of breaking through, this quality of radical steadiness, this directionality, right? This sense of thrusting forward, this purpose driven, right? That's one dimension. And then we talk about, right, the feminine or the circle quality is the quality of holding and nurturing and the qualities of radiance, right? We don't want those. We don't need more of either of those qualities, right? Because, for example, let's say we have more feminine values at ethnocentric consciousness, right? So you've got all sorts of Nazi mothers or Ku Klux Klan mothers nurturing their kids and raising them, right, to run, right, in the case of Nazis, concentration camps, right? It's a big deal, but they're nurturing and they're loving their kids and they're being radiant and beautiful. No, we want feminine values, not an egocentric and ethnocentric consciousness. We want feminine values at world-centric and cosmocentric consciousness, right? In which we have a felt sense of love, care, and concern for every human being and for all of the planet. And we want masculine values of purpose-driven, right? And of thrusting forward and of directionality, right? And of kind of sharp distinctions. We want that not at egocentric or ethnocentric, which causes war and devastation and destruction that's unbelievable because it becomes an us, them, win, lose metrics. No, we want actually to move from ego self to unique self, in which men are at world-centric consciousness and cosmocentric consciousness, breaking through as instruments in a larger unique self symphony, in which all of that masculine energy goes into radical uniqueness. And that masculine energy lives in all of us. That masculine energy lives in Krista and in Claire and in Shot and in Christina, right? And in Suzette and in Lady J, right? And I mean, obviously in Medea and of course in Oriana. And that feminine energy lives in Peter and right, lives in Jamie, right? And lives in Tom and lives in Terry, right? So that's the Harris Gamos. So the celebration, Barbara loved the song because in it she felt the evolutionary impulse. And the evolutionary impulse doesn't have the face of God or goddess. It's God, goddess as one. It's not a man or a woman. It's masculine and feminine as one. It's beyond he and she.